Matthew chapter 12. Then on the day of rest, a holy day, Jesus walked through the grain fields. His disciples were hungry and began to pick the heads of grain to eat. When the Pharisees saw this, they said to him, "Look, your disciples are doing something that is not right to do on the day of rest, a holy day." Jesus asked them, "Haven't you read what David did when he and his men were hungry? Haven't you read how he went into the house of God and ate the bread of presence? He and his men had no right to eat those loaves. Only the priests have the right. Or haven't you read in Moses' teachings that on the day of rest, a holy day, the priests in the temple do things they should not on the day of rest, yet remain innocent? I guarantee that someone greater than the temple is here. If you had known what I want mercy, not sacrifice means, you would not have condemned innocent people. The Son of Man has authority over the day of rest." Jesus moved on from there and went into the synagogue. A man with a paralyzed hand was there. The people asked Jesus whether it was right to heal on the day of rest, a holy day, so that they could accuse him of doing something wrong. Jesus said to them, "Suppose one of you had a sheep. If it falls into a pit on the day of rest, a holy day, would you not take hold of it and lift it out? Certainly, a human is more valuable than a sheep. So it is right to do good on the day of rest, a holy day." Then he said to the man, "Hold out your hand." The man held it out, and it became normal again, as healthy as the other. The Pharisees left and plotted to kill Jesus. He knew about this, so he left the place. Many people followed him, and he cured all of them. He also ordered them not to tell people who he was, so what the prophet Isaiah had said come true. "Here is my servant, whom I have chosen, whom I love, and in whom I delight. I will put my spirit on him, and he will announce justice to the nations. He will not quarrel or shout, and no one will hear his voice in the streets. He will not break off a damaged cattail. He will not even put out a smoking wick until he has made justice victorious. The nations will have hope because of him." Then some people brought Jesus a man possessed by a demon. The demon made the man blind and unable to talk. Jesus cured him so that he could talk and see. The crowd were all amazed and said, "Can this be the son of David?" When the Pharisees heard this, they said, "This man can force out demons out of people only with the help of Beelzebub, the ruler of demons." Since Jesus knew what they were thinking, he said to them, "Every kingdom divided against itself is ruined, and every city or household divided against itself will not last. If Satan forces out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then can his kingdom last? If I force out demons out of people with the help of Beelzebub, who helps your followers force them out? That's why they will be your judges. If I force out demons with the help of God's Spirit, then God's kingdom has come to you. How can anyone go into a strong man's house and steal his property? First he must tie up the strong man, then he can go through his house and steal his property. Whoever isn't with me is against me. Whoever doesn't gathers with me scatters. So I guarantee that the people will be forgiven for any sin or cursing. However, cursing the Spirit will not be forgiven. Whoever speaks a word against the Son of Man will be forgiven, but whoever speaks against the Holy Spirit will not be forgiven in this world or the next. Make a tree good, and its fruit will be good, or make a tree rotten, and then its fruit will be rotten. A person can recognize a tree by its fruit. You poisonous snakes, how can you evil people say anything good? Your mouths say what comes from inside of you. Good people do the good things that are inside of them, but evil people do the evil things that are in them. I guarantee that on Judgment Day, people will have to give an account of every careless word they say. But by your words, you will be declared innocent, or by your words, you will be declared guilty. Then some experts in Moses' teachings and Pharisees said, "Teacher, we want you to show us a miracle sign." He responded, "The people of an evil and unfaithful era look for a miraculous sign, but the only sign they will get is the sign of the prophet Jonah. As Jonah was in the belly of a huge fish for 3 days and nights, so the Son of Man will be in the heart of the earth for 3 days and 3 nights. Then the men of Nineveh will stand up with you at the time of judgment and will condemn you, because they turned to God and changed the way they thought and acted when Jonah spoke his message. But look, someone greater than Jonah is here. The queen from the south will stand up at that time of judgment with you. She will condemn you because she came from the ends of the earth to hear Solomon's wisdom. But look, someone greater than Solomon is here. When an evil spirit comes out of a person, it goes through dry places looking for a place to rest, but it does not find any. Then it says, 'I'll go back home.' When it arrives, it finds the home unoccupied, swept clean, and in order. Then it goes and brings along 7 other spirits more evil than itself. They enter and take up permanent residence there. In the end, the condition of that person is worse than it was before. That is what will happen to evil people of this day." While Jesus was still talking to the crowds, his mother and brother were standing outside. They wanted to talk to him. Someone told him, "Your mother and your brother are standing outside. They want to talk to you." He replied to the man speaking to him, "Who is my mother and who are my brother?" Pointing with his hands at his disciples, he said, "Look, here are my brother and my mother. Whoever does what my Father in heaven wants is my brother, sister, and mother."